あげる、くれる、もらう are verbs that express giving and receiving. They can also function as auxiliary verbs when attached to the te form of an action verb. In this usage, they add nuances such as appreciation, hope for completion, empathy, or even pretentiousness, subtleties that are difficult to translate into other languages. Using them appropriately allows you to communicate more naturally in Japanese. Te form plus kureru is used when watashi is the receiver of the service. The service is willingly offered to me without me even asking, and I feel very grateful. The receiver can also be someone in your inner circle, such as a family member, so that expressing appreciation for the action makes sense. Te form plus kureru is a great way to convey these nuances implicitly, and it allows you to talk about others' actions from your own perspective with appreciation. Let's look at an example. 山田さんは私の仕事を手伝いました。Mr. Yamada helped with my work. This expression simply describes what happened as if someone is objectively observing the action. On the other hand, 山田さんは私の仕事を手伝ってくれました。Mr. Yamada helped with my work, and I am appreciative. This expression implicitly conveys your inner feelings of gratitude for the help you received. The first statement simply describes the action as externally observable. The second statement implies your inner feelings of appreciation. When speaking about someone doing something for you, the first statement, although grammatically correct, sounds awkward and unnatural in Japanese. The second statement sounds more natural for a Japanese person to express such an action. Let's look at some examples. 隣の人は時々弟に数学を教えてくれます。Our next door neighbor sometimes teaches my little brother math, and I am appreciative. As I explained, the receiver of the action can be a family member, since you can still express gratitude when someone provides a service for someone very close to you. 山川さんが車で送ってくれました。Mr. Yamakawa gave me a ride and dropped me off, and I'm grateful. Usually, when using te kureru, we don't state who the receiver of the service is because it's understood to be the speaker. 田中さんは私のつまらない冗談を聞いて笑ってくれました。Mr. Tanaka laughed at my silly joke when he heard it, and I'm grateful. When you want to make someone laugh and the other person understands your intention and laughs, even if may or may not be so funny, that's an action you can truly appreciate. てもらう is used to imply gratitude for an action someone performs, and it can also imply a desire to have the action done. The difference from te kureru is that the action is usually the result of asking for it, rather than being done voluntarily. It's used when the action is performed by someone other than watashi, and the receiver of the action can be anyone. This expression can be a bit tricky, because when using the te morau form, the subject shifts from the original action verb. When A provides an action to B, the original sentence takes the external standpoint, describing what anyone can observe. Using the te morau form, the subject becomes the person receiving the action, implicitly expressing appreciation or desire for the action to occur. The te morau form changes it to the more subjective expression, highlighting the action receiver's appreciation. Let's look at an example of how an action verb sentence changes into te morau form. 田中さんは山田さんに店の名前を教えました。Miss Tanaka told Mr. Yamada the name of the store. This statement simply expresses the observable action of telling the store's name. Now, when you use te morau form, the subject shifts from the action performer to the action receiver. 山田さんは田中さんに店の名前を教えてもらいました。Mr. Yamada was told the name of the store by Mr. Tanaka, and Mr. Yamada is grateful. The second sentence shifts the perspective to Mr. Yamada, who is likely grateful and wanted to know the store's name, which Ms. Tanaka provided. Let's look at more examples. インフォメーションデスクで道を教えてもらいましょう。Let's ask the direction at the information desk, and I hope they will tell us the direction. We often use it with the ましょう form, which adds the nuance of wanting to receive the service rather than gratitude. 先月、給料を少し上げてもらいました。Last month, I received a small raise in my salary. I asked for it, and I'm grateful. The てもらう form indicates that I may have asked for a raise, and even if not, I feel grateful. この仕事は山田さんにしてもらってください。Please ask Mr. Yamada to do this work, and I hope that happens. When used with the てください ending, it asks someone to have another person perform the action for them. The てあげる form implies that the service is given as a favor from the service giver's perspective. The service giver is usually 私, but if not, you take the service giver's perspective to emphasize with them. The service receiver is usually someone close to 私, such as family members, or someone of lower social status, such as subordinates. Since the service is provided as a favor, it can convey pretentiousness, and you need to be careful how to use it. Here's an example of how an action verb changes when used in the てあげる form. 弟にパソコンを貸しました。I lent a computer to my little brother. This statement simply describes what can be observed with no hidden meaning. 弟にパソコンを貸してあげました。I lent a computer to my little brother as a favor. This statement implies that I did something special for my little brother and feel proud to have done it. Here are more examples. 母が疲れていたので肩を揉んであげました。Because my mother was tired, I gave her a shoulder massage as a favor. This expresses my own perspective, showing that I am proud of doing a favor for my mother. There's nothing wrong with it, but if you use for someone outside the family, it can sound pretentious. 看護師は手が動かせない人に食べさせてあげます。Nurses feed people who can't move their hands, and I feel for the work nurses do. This is an example where the action giver is someone other than myself, which expresses empathy for them. 妹の誕生日にぬいぐるみを買ってあげました。I bought a stuffed animal on my little sister's birthday as a good gesture. Again, this works because the receiver of the action is my little sister. Here's the summary. てくれる describes an action that someone does for the speaker. In this sentence, the speaker, 私, occupies the position of be and is often omitted. The sentence is expressed from the speaker's perspective, implying both appreciation and that the action was willingly initiated by the other person. In some cases, the action receiver may be someone in the speaker's close inner circle, such as a family member, in which case the sense of appreciation is still expressed from the speaker's perspective. てもらう describes an action that the speaker, 私, receives, but the receiver can also be someone else other than 私. It's the perspective of the action receiver occupies the position of A. When the action performer is not explicitly stated, the sentence simply implies that the action receiver wants the action to be performed. When the action performer is specified, it also conveys a sense of appreciation towards the person who performed the action. The てあげる form expresses the perspective of the action giver, usually 私, and occupies the position of A. It implies that the action was done as a special favor. When the action receiver is someone other than close family members or subordinate, it can sound pretentious, so be careful about using this expression. It can also be used when the third party is the action giver. In that case, the speaker is expressing empathy or consideration for the action giver. To learn Japanese language more seriously, visit my Udemy courses through the links below. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. You can also participate in daily quizzes from the post section. If you have any requests for Japanese grammar to be covered, please leave your comments in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.